Today I want to discuss the only 6 baby gadgets that you need for your baby. I think that living minimally, sometimes people think that children and babies are exempt, and they are not. These 6 items are what I would purchase again if I had to do it all over again. In fact, they're the only 6 items that I would purchase again. These do not include things like diapers and regular essentials that you obviously cannot do without for your baby, but these are the 6 items that I feel like if you're starting all over again, you absolutely need these items. The only caveat that I would like to add is that the more time that you can put into your baby, the less gadgets you will need to purchase. So with that being said, I do want you to understand that this is coming from the perspective of someone who prioritizes time over things. I live my life in that way. I try to make sure that I'm not just buying a bunch of convenience items. I do think that is what feeds into having a cluttered home in general, and it does not stop there when you do that with your baby items, where you have multiple items that sort of serve the same purpose. You end up in this cycle of just having a whole bunch of things that you don't necessarily have. So I do want to preface this by saying that the way to save the most money and avoid buying too much, it starts with that concept of being willing to give your baby a lot of time and attention. Most baby gear is really geared towards helping mom to get that time away from the baby so that she can be a little bit more free. So when you take that into consideration, when you think about, well, how much time and energy am I willing to give, you can definitely save a lot of money, and you can save yourself the time and stress of buying all these things. So let's get started. Number 1 on my list that I would absolutely buy again is my baby carrier. I use this baby carrier daily from the time that my baby was newborn until about 5 months. He's now 7 months at the time of this video, and I still use this baby carrier at least 3 to 4 times a week. I don't need it as frequently, but when he was a lot smaller, I used it a lot. And I mean, if I'm being honest, it was the best $30 that I've ever spent. I do have a preference for the cloth one that I own, but you know, if you want to get more of the bulkier one that has the snaps and things, great. What I love about the cloth one is it's very soft, it's comfortable. I could wear it all day long, which is pretty much what I did from the time that my baby was 0 to 5 months. I just wore it all day, and when I needed to use it, I could just sit him in it. It's very easy to remove. I pretty much took it everywhere. Okay, that's one. Now, what I really enjoyed about the baby carrier is, if you think about it, again, your baby wants you. Your baby wants attention. Your baby wants to be close to you. So obviously we have things that we need to do. I need to keep my house clean. I need to work. I have things that I want to do. Sometimes I want to go outside. Even when you're in the store, sometimes it's just a little bit more convenient to have your hands be free, but you also don't want to put the baby down and now it's chaos and the baby's crying and upset because he has departed from your body. So what I really like about that baby carrier is it gives the baby that closeness and support and comfort. And then it gives you the ability to just be a little bit more free with your hands. You can still do things around the house. You can still take care of all your chores and everything that you need to do. So, not saying you gotta get a baby carrier, but get you a baby carrier. Now, number 2 is a little bit more obvious, a car seat. But not just the car seat, but the car seat and stroller combo. I got mine for a really good price. And honestly, there's so many options online and in communities. You can probably get a nice stroller car seat combo for like $70 to $100. But again, it's a good investment. 1, you need a car seat if you're driving and you're mobile with your baby. But 2, the reason that I needed it and that I really enjoy it is because not only does it help me to get from point A to point B, but having the car seat and stroller combo, I'm outside a lot with my baby, so we take walks because we have a dog. You know, I do yard work. So when I'm outside doing yard work, I mean, am I really going to be holding the baby and edging up my shrubs or like what's going to go on there? So what I liked about that, especially early on when he slept a lot, I would be able to take him wherever I was outside. Just put him in the car seat, put him in a stroller, close the shades, and just wheel him around. And even before I started using the stroller outside, I would wheel him around the house. So it was almost like you didn't really need to have all these extra baby gadgets because you had this thing that you could just wheel around to wherever you were. Now, as he got bigger, I obviously wasn't using the stroller in the house. And as we started to bring the stroller outside for walks, I don't really like walking the stroller around the house because then I'm bringing in all the dirt from outside. But primarily, if you go on walks, if you're very mobile with your baby, you definitely want to have a nice, could be secondhand stroller and car seat combo. The third thing is a baby chair. I didn't even buy this. This was something that was gifted to me. I don't think that I would have purchased it if I didn't otherwise get it gifted to me. But since it has come into my life, it's been very beneficial. It's compact enough that I can move around with it. I can go upstairs. I can put him in it, and then I can go from where I am downstairs to upstairs. I can bring it in the kitchen when I'm cooking. Maybe I don't want to have him physically on my body. When I am in the room with him and I need to walk away, because he is to the point where if I leave him on the bed, he's pretty mobile. I don't want him to roll off the bed. So having that chair and being able to put him in there is great. It also helps because I don't have any type of restricted furniture like a playpen or a crib for him yet. That's because he sleeps with us. So not having that, then I do still need to have something where I can contain him if necessary, because as I mentioned, he is pretty mobile. But what I love about this thing is, like I said, it's so small and compact. I can move it to wherever I need it. Even when his sisters want to hang out with him, but they don't necessarily want to hold him, I can bring him to their room and put him in the chair, and he just sits, and he loves it because it allows him to sit up and look around and see what's going on, because at 7 months, he doesn't really like to just lay in one spot. He's at the point where he's pretty adventurous. He's beginning to explore. He's moving around. So he wants to see what's going on. So that chair is really helpful in that regard. Number 4 is not really a minimalist thing. You can throw your diapers in the trash, but I have a Diaper Genie, and I like having that because I don't have a dedicated baby space. He just kind of exists with the rest of us. He sleeps in my room, in my bed, and we don't have a lot of baby gear. So it's nice to have one spot where we put the diapers and it doesn't stink up the entire space, because it also saves me from having to run to the trash can every time that I want to go throw something away. And even though that's not something that is absolutely essential to have for a baby, I do consider it something essential for me because it's compact enough that it's not in the way and it doesn't cause clutter, and it serves a purpose. The 5th thing is going to be feeding utensils, bottles, and I also included my breast pump in this. Now, while these are not things that I necessarily use every day because I don't really pump milk, I don't leave my baby with anyone unnecessarily. I typically only store milk for him on the days that we go to church. So for Sunday service and for Bible study, I try to have a bottle just so I'm not having to completely rethink my entire wardrobe about having to be able to derobe myself to feed him. I do have a bowl, a spoon, and then I have a couple bottles for him and the pump. Now, again, these are things that I would buy again because even though I don't leave him a lot to go do things at this point in my life, when I do need to leave him with someone, it's nice to actually be able to leave food behind as well. Most of his food that he eats at this point, he doesn't eat a lot, is freshly prepared. If I have a smoothie, I'll pour some in a bowl and feed it to him. Whatever I feed to the girls, I'll kind of blend it up and feed it to him. So having a bowl is necessary. Having those bottles is nice and convenient, and those are absolutely things that I would get again if I had to do it all over again. And number 6 is toys. My baby only has a handful of toys. I didn't buy either of them. Someone at church gave me one, and my mom actually brought him these blocks. But they're stimulating toys, they're not noisy, and they keep him entertained when I need him to be. As I mentioned, he is 7 months, so he sits up, he can roll over, he can play with toys. But the toys that he does have, they do stimulate him and they keep him entertained when I need him to be, so that he is distracted long enough so that I can go to do something. Now, what I love most about all 6 of these items is that they're all easily stored. They don't take up a lot of space. I don't like to see visual clutter. So when you come to my house, you wouldn't even know that I had a baby by looking around because I don't have a bunch of baby gear everywhere. And that's what's really important to me. So if you found this video helpful, I hope that you like or subscribe. But I do hope that these tips are helpful to you. Again, these are not things that you necessarily have to do, but my baby is now 7 months and these are the things that I have deemed essential. These are pretty much the only things that I have had for him. Again, this is aside from baby toiletries, diapers, wipes, the obvious things that you need to wash your baby, keep the baby clean and clothed. But even in those regards, I keep a very minimal rotation of things. He has lotion, he has Vaseline, He has powder and wipes, and he has about 12 to 15 outfits. As he grows, I rotate those same outfits just to keep things down, keep the clutter away. They don't need a lot. They really don't. And I really hope that you found this video helpful. See you in the next one.